Hello, my name is Jeremy Chadwick, and thank you for the opportunity to give you a short update on what's happening here in Europe, Middle East and Africa. Firstly, those of you I haven't had a chance to speak with personally before, I'm a 45-year-old insurance guy. I worked in the accident and health space of insurance for about 15 years, and I live and work in a town called Reading, which is a very typical English town outside London, about 30 miles to the west of London. It's a booming place, but it's also very traditional too. I went to school here, escaped for about 10 years, and came back when I met my wife, who's a dentist in town. So it's definitely home, and I thought it'd be helpful to perhaps just give you a short tour of Reading, just so you can see how diverse our cities and towns are, and also how we've got a great opportunity here. So here we have a perfect example of a neighbourhood optician on a pretty typical street. There's a dental practice right next door, just to give you an idea, and here's a view around of a great British neighbourhood. And there's the pub, just like you'd expect. It's like in all the films, isn't it? Okay, so it's a typical dental practice and a typical optician's. Small, in older premises, mum and pop type shop, and in fact this lady here is my family's optician, and she provides great care in a local neighbourhood. But as you can see, they need a lot of help in terms of marketing and distribution. Even parking outside is a challenge. And this is a main road and there's just limited parking. So it's very different, I think, to what you guys get in the States. And so here is a pretty good perspective of a major hospital in my community, which is, as you can see, Victorian architecture. So here's a great example of an American company right here in Silicon Valley, Reading. So this is Symantec's headquarters on a pretty typical British business park. Lots of high-tech companies here. So here we have Quintiles in the pharma and clinical testing space. New company in town, Huawei I think is how you pronounce it in Chinese. But these guys have just set up here, another major employer. And just in case anybody's wondering about eating, if you ever came to Britain, glad to tell you we have a range of international cuisine available here, right here in town. So thanks for the indulgence of that little tour of Reading. The point of that was to really show you the traditional and the modern sides of a typical British town. So what are we doing here? Firstly, we've got to educate this market about the need for eye care. The problem with tradition, the old part of our culture, is that the British don't really understand modern approaches to health particularly well, and we don't engage with our health particularly well. We don't go to the doctor unless you're really sick. The idea of going for a wellness screen is almost taboo amongst men. It's just not something we do. I hadn't had my eyes checked for 15 years before I joined VSP, to give you an example. It's just not something we do. So we have to educate people, we have to bring people along with us. So creating a market is the first challenge in terms of customer demand, both in terms of individuals and also our employer groups. And then the second thing we have to do is build a network. We need to get hold of our neighbourhood opticians, the Mrs. Kirks of this world, and bring them with us too, to help us build our proposition in the marketplace. So those are the two pieces of work we have to carry out here in Britain, and then the same in Ireland and across Europe. The opportunity is huge because there is nobody in this market doing what we do, and I thoroughly believe that we have a great proposition with obviously a huge amount of resource to support a market entry like this. So I'm very pleased to be part of it, and I think it's going to be a great success story. And there is a lot of interest, a little bit of hesitancy from some people who don't want to be first, but hey, the sun's shining for once in Britain, and I think the sun's shining on us too, because people are very, very interested in it, and they do actually understand what it is we're trying to do. So as we progress, build our network, get our first case studies from some of those tech companies with their European affiliates, out of Silicon Valley US into Silicon Valley UK, we should be able to prove the point and take this market, and certainly do it a lot better and faster than Lux might. Okay, thanks for the opportunity to talk with you. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Thanks, bye-bye.